Resume. So there's a large balance, there's a large imbalance between here and here, right? So this gap needs to be filled. Even if this market wants to keep buying, right? I expect this gap to be filled before moving up. And if you check, this gap is lying in between 4045 or 4044 and 4076, right? So anyone looking at this with a holistic view can say, okay, yeah, this is nice, right? I'm expecting a bearish move to tap into this area before the market going up again. So bias is basically your idea of what you expect of um, price at a particular point in time, right? That is basically what it is. And this guy should start selling, right? And if you look at this, yeah, what happened here is that this this might be bullish, right? It's been given. Now, any person that wants to entertain sales right now, let's say you just woke up looking at this chart, yeah, you're anticipating that sell because of what you've seen on the daily time frame. You'd want to see this lower time frame align with what you are seeing on the daily time frame, right? But for now, it can't align because this is still bullish, right? So what you want to wait for is you can work with this highest point. This is the highest point you're seeing here, and this is like the lowest point. This is highest point you're seeing here, and this is like this is the lowest point. Um, just a moment. Mm. So this is the highest point. Sorry, this is the highest point. This is like the lowest point. Or you can go down to a lower time frame to choose these points as your intermediate highs and lows. If I'm to do that, I'll go down to 5 minutes, right? What am I seeing on the 5 minutes? I'm seeing a high, a low, a high, a low, a high, a low, a high, a low. Or I can call this the new low, right? So what I want is for the market to not break this high. Yeah. The first indication to tell me that this guy is ready to sell, yeah, is for this very high here not to be broken. So as I've had a run like this, okay, I can still call this a low, it's still something. Yeah. And then this is the high, then this is my low, basically. Right. So this is the high I'm looking at. So I want this high to not break this one, to give me something like maybe tap into this area here, then give me a lower move. Then of course a confirmation to now keep going down, right? That's what I expect of this market. That's what I really expect of it. So you as a trader wanting to sell right now, all you need to do is patiently wait for a confirmation, right? And if I'm to plot a possible reversal right now, where can I tell, where do I think, yeah, this very candle can start selling from? Where do I think it can start selling from? I can say right here, right? This is a Fibonacci, right? This is a Fibonacci. And Fibonacci is, when you look at Fibonacci's, we call it, what's it called? This golden zone is like the best reversal point of any swing, right? This is a swing, this is a high, a low, a swing. So if I'm interested in selling this very trade here, you can aggressively start selling from here. It has gone into the golden zone, which is amazing. In fact, someone that is trading just a short-term trader can actually take a sell from here and the TP right here, right? But if you're expecting to sell to these very low, of course, let's say the start of the day, but this is where the day started, right? You'd um you can start at you can patiently wait. So if I'm to sell this, right, I'll patiently wait for something like this to happen, right? It's selling, nice, but I want this low to be taken out. And when this low is taken out, I expect a retest into a zone like this, then of course downwards. This is exactly what I'm expecting, right? If um this market is ready to sell, this is exactly what I'm expecting, right? So this is how to trade a trend that's not giving you a valid reversal point yet, right? So, but let me show you situations where it has done something like this. Let's say a continuous downtrend. Like, okay. This is a case study. Um, okay, you can use this for instance. So we can tell that, okay, yeah, this market is trading upwards regardless. But what happened here was that on a higher time frame, this move here was a pullback, right? On a higher time frame, this was a pullback. But on this time frame, it was consistently, it was consistently giving, wait, let me, I think I just have to delete this. On this time frame, yeah, it was consistently giving high, low, lower high, lower low, lower high, and lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower. It kept giving downward movement. Now, when can you tell? So you already know that from a grand scale, yeah, this is an uptrend. So where can I jump in to this move? Right? It's simple. Where where can I jump into this move? It's simple. Now, here's one thing. Yours is to locate or to be able to spot the last high, right? In this case, this is the last high here. Let me expand this, right? In this case, this is the last high. This high, low, high. What you're going to spot is the last high that gave rise to the lowest point. So what I'm simply going to do is I mark out this high, right? Then I'll mark out this low. So what I'm simply waiting for is I need a confirmation, right? For this side to be broken. And once it's broken, I will need more like this very market didn't give the best reaction. What you have done here, yeah, is um like what would have given someone a good entry here is something like it's this is a sweep, right? So don't always fall for this very move. Sometimes this move can happen and it will keep selling. This very candle that broke above and closed below, right? So that's not like your confirmation. Your confirmation is just a very long candle, right? This is your confirmation, right? So what some persons might have expected is, okay, this close played out, then taps in back into this zone, like back into this very point before buying, right? But in this case, they didn't do that. But so as not to miss out on this very trade, right? Remember, you are not counting this, but this is your indicator that it has broken. But the main push was this very candle. It broke. But a retest happened. The retest happened right here. If you look at this zone, this is a resistance just from here. So if you're looking at it like this, you wouldn't have missed this trade. This is a resistance. What happened? Market broke this zone. This is a resistance. Broke off a resistance. Then landed on it. So this is like your cue to enter this trade. Now, judging from the highest point, you can decide to just take a buy from this very point, targeting the high, right? Of course, your SL will be, I will always say, below the candle that gave the whole thing. Uh, just a matter of time, you hit your target. You see that? That's how to do stuff like this. So to this one we're waiting for here, it's still pushing. Right? I'll patiently wait. If you can give me that confirmation, then I'll go in. But if it doesn't, that means this trend is still actively bullish. All right. It's still actively bullish. As you can see what's happening here. Right. I don't want it to break this zone. So that's just what we are looking at right now. So let me see if I can get another example. For a second, I have to go to a higher time frame. Mm. Mm. Okay. All right. So this is another case study. Let me see. Mm, 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 mm. Okay, this also the same. This is also the same case study, right? From this point, this is a good reversal point. You did your markup, you saw everything. You're like, you know what? I expect the market to sell from here, right? It sold, gave the high, the low, right? A lower high, a lower low, it kept giving the move, right? Give another high here and a very amazing low. So from this point to this point, this market is very, very bearish. Now, let's say you don't even know what the market is doing, right? You have no idea, right? Then all of a sudden, this very high you're looking at here gets broken, right? What you can simply do is, when this one is broken, you're like, okay, what you're waiting for next now is a good entry a for a buy. And remember, this is the highest point, right? This is the highest point that gave rise to this lowest point. And all of a sudden, it was broken. There's no need to rush or doing a panic sell or just rushing to buy or anything. Just wait, right? All you can do is the safest method is your Fibonacci. Draw your Fibonacci from the lowest point to the highest point. Extend it, right? All right. So you have this low and this high, right? So your entry will be either the 68% or the 0.5. That's 0.168 or 0.5. That's where your entry is going to be, right? So you can decide to simply buy at this point and just set your buy and, allow it to run. Let's say buy at the midpoint, SL below this candle. Then you shoot for the high. Or if you have a higher target, you can shoot for the higher target you have in mind. Right? So this is simply how to trade reversals or trade any trend. All right. So if you see any trend, instead of just jumping blindly, wait for a confirmation, right? So like this very one here, I didn't I didn't see a confirmation, right? So I just jumped in. I jumped in at I used the past is very high here to judge it. So I expected you can see it came into this area and rejected. So that was what I was looking out for. But right now, I think he has other plans, right? But let's watch it. So that's your stay right now. So this is 7 o'clock, right? 7 o'clock is pushing forward. So let's see how it plays out. Let's see how it plays out. You can see it's still giving this is our main range, these are area of interest. So for this cell to be valid, right? We can even break this down to even a lower time frame to understand that's if you want to take micro trades, you're not aiming for too much. You can see if you're taking cells, yeah, this is a 1 minute time frame. From this very point, market has been bullish. This 1 minute time frame, bullish, bullish, up until this last low here was broken. As you can see, it was broken. It did a retest, right? It was broken at this very point, then did a retest. So this is your entry point. So if you want to sell from here, you can decide to. You don't need to over aim. You can simply aim for what your eyes can see. Yeah, you say from here. Of course, have your SL as large as you want it to be. Right. Then you can say you want to aim for this low. That's the next low. Right. You can say, okay, I want to aim for this low. I want to aim for this low. Whatever low it is. You can say, okay, let's aim for this. The next low. You don't want to aim too much. Just the next low. You drag it to the next low. What happened? Give or take a few minutes. Let's say entered at 4:38 by 5 something. You hit your target and you're out. It's that simple, right? So, and you see that he kept selling, kept selling, kept selling. Then what happened? At this very point, market shifted again. I'm like, okay, what concerns you is that you're trading what you're seeing. You're not trading any other thing, right? Let's say your focus is just this time frame. What happened? This high here was taken out as well. So this perceived downtrend became an uptrend now. It broke this high. Right? It broke this high. And this is the lowest point. Can decide to use the same rule here. High, low. And do the same thing, yeah? You wait for the market to hit your Fibonacci. Short-term trade, you're trading what your eyes is seeing. You can decide to enter. Your TP will be the last high you're seeing, your SL, right below here. You enter, boom, TP hit, and you're out. So it works on any time frame you're looking at. The main thing is trade what you're seeing. That's all. Trade what you're seeing. So if by chance, yeah, this very trend we are looking at here, this is our these are our lowest point, these are our highest points. If by chance this low gets broken, I can tell that this trend has shifted as well. Yeah. So I'll wait for the confirmation to sell into this next low that I'm seeing here. That's just it. So let's hope right now. Personally, I want the market to sell, right? But you looking at it can say, okay, I'll simply wait. and see what the market will do. In fact, this move here can also be a buy entry for you. Understand? You can keep doing that until you get taken out. It can also be a buy entry. You can say, okay, the market has gone into an area of interest. Let me buy to this high here. And you go into your buy at this very point, targeting this high. And maybe having your SL somewhere around here. And you wait. If you hit SL, you're wrong. If you hit TP, then you're right. So that's just how to look at it. All right. Hope it makes sense. Hope you're able to understand this now.
Yeah.
This is how to trade
Yes.
trends. Yeah. When you're in when you see yourself in a trending market and you don't really understand what's happening, go down to any time frame. First of all, understand the major move, right? On the higher time frame. Then if you want to take, depending on what you want to take. If you want to take my minute or micro trades, then it's just small points. You can go down to any time frame you want and see what you want to see there, and of course take it. The same rule applies for reversals. Yeah. Reversals are basically when the market is selling, I want to see a reversal. Yeah. So you simply have to wait, just like what I'm actively trading now. The market is crazily bullish and I'm waiting for a reversal. Yeah. It's giving me nice candles. All I need, I just want this candle to close way below this. I just want this candle to close well, that's all. I'm good. So just it's giving me like good indication that it's gonna drop. I just want that confirmation before I ride. So that's it. I want it to drop below here, then keep dropping. That's the most important thing, right? So that's just it. But the main thing now is now to um, do I trade gold? Yeah, I do. I do. That's what I trade actually. That's majorly what I trade. Yeah, so watching this, let's just be patient. Yep. So let's expect the move, right? So let's see by London Open. Let's see what's gonna happen anyway. If he keeps pushing, then it's what it is. Right? If he keeps pushing, it's just that mentally, my mental reversal point is just right here. Yeah, this is my mental reversal point. Generally, yeah. In fact, this move was um just look at this. This is the daily time frame, 4 hours. I think it might make sense more. They wanna look at this here for like how many days this has been happening since July, right? The market has been respecting this trend, and market has been selling aggressively up until yesterday. Was it yesterday? No, yeah, yesterday basically. It broke the zone. It broke and kept buying aggressively. Now, one of the reasons why this buy is very important is because on let me uh-huh. One reason why this buy is important is that beginning of last week there was a large gap from 120 to 4089. It's like roughly um 19 points. Yeah, 19. No, it's like 120. It's more than 20 something points gap or 200 and something pips gap, right? From 4120 to Friday ended like this, then Monday opened this way. So for the longest time, yeah, This gap was not closed. It came close on Tuesday, right? The following day. Yeah, came close, but kept selling, kept selling, kept selling. So low key, this gap needs to be filled regardless. Yeah, that's why I believe um, the market couldn't push down any longer. And even this low we are looking at here, this low is, let me show you something. This low actually, this is the lowest point of the year anyway. This is the lowest point gold got this year. Right? So on the weekly time frame, you will see that that low is like a very, very good low. So that 39, let me see, 26 June. Okay, 26 June. Yeah, this is July now. Yeah. It got to this is very low we are looking at here. This is where okay, this low happened before. So this is like the lowest point. This lowest point is a new month low. The former month had a higher, let's say this is May. Like this was the lowest point, right? And June came very close as well. Just all these things are just having an idea of if this sell decides to continue. All right, yeah, this is it. Yeah. So it swept, it formed more like a double bottom with November's low, right? And of course, look at this now. A push is expected, right? And the push has happened, right? So even if this market will still push up, right? Just that so many factors are affecting gold right now. The war basically. Even if it's going to push up, it needs to come down a little bit before going up, right? And if it's to come down aggressively, it can still come down to take out this low. That's 3936. Tap into this imbalance right here. Possibly come into this zone as well. So these are things that have been happening low key, right? So that is that about that. So basically, this area is a good resistance zone. These are another block basically. So this is a good resistance zone to expect this market to sell, right? So, but all you can do is to sit tight and observe. That's all basically. Sit tight, observe, see what it has to play, right? So that's about that. Okay, that's about that. Well, so family, I think that's it for this morning, I believe, and I hope you got value. And if you did, um, amazing, right? So if you're a seller, simply wait for this low to be broken, 4122 or 4123. Wait for it to be broken. Then that I expect it to do that, once it's broken, then ride to the low of the day, basically. More like Asian low. Break it, then whatever happens. Then I also suspect this high being broken. This high will be broken, then a pullback will happen then to keep selling. But however it is, I wouldn't want that. I just wanted to keep just sell from here. And so we sit tight and observe, right? So cheers and have an amazing day. All right. Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome. Um, all the best. All the best.